So learning how to teach is a steep learning curve, especially if you've never done it before. I think it's something that it comes with time. Your first class is so intimidating, and you drop the chalk, you trip over, you do anything that it just is difficult. But having your students there, they're eager, they're ready to learn, really is just the best motivator possible, and you learn to just purely enjoy it. It's amazing. It's a steep learning curve, but it's amazing how much you can learn just from being thrown into the situation. I think particularly the hardest, maybe the main difference between teaching in Vanuatu and teaching in Australia is the access to resources. Particularly with what we're teaching, you're purely drawing on your own knowledge most of the time. I think in Australia and in the West, we do have this access to education, which is beyond what might be available in a lot of areas in Vanuatu. But it's also important to recognise the vast amount of knowledge that is there, and I think these children and these students are just, they're completely capable in many other ways, many other elements that a lot of Western children aren't. And you can learn from that, and it's kind of an exchange, I guess. You're taking what you've learned in school, your knowledge, in any ways that it can help them, and at the same time you're acknowledging what there is in that school and that way of teaching. There'd be many skills that the teachers there do 100 times better than teachers in Australia, purely because they have to use initiative. So I think it's an exchange, but certainly it is true that you come to recognise your own skills and how lucky you've been to have access to these resources. So I was teaching English to years 3, 4, 7 and 8 at École Catholique Lattitude, which was a French school in Vanuatu. So Vanuatu has French and English schools, and I believe Lattitude is the main French placement for Lattitude in Vanuatu. So that was in itself amazing, because we were working not only with the local Vanuatuan language, but a little bit of French as well. So the school catered from kindergarten up to year 8 when I was there, but has since moved up to year 9 and are looking at moving up to year 10 as well. It provides a really good service to the community. Primary school is often attended by students in Vanuatu, but senior school becomes a little more difficult payment-wise. So the school really was providing an amazing service in quite a rural location for the locals there. We were mainly teaching English, which was great, because it meant we got to completely take on the role fully of being the sole teacher in the classroom. But occasionally we would help out with other subjects in the school, which involved working with the other teachers as well, which we learnt so much from, and it was fantastic.
So in the village there was a school of maybe about 150 students, and my job was specifically to be an English teacher over there. I took grades 4, 5 and 6, but I also taught reading to every other class. Throughout my time though, I became a PE teacher, music teacher, arts teacher, really anything that you wanted to teach, they were super stoked to learn about. So the teaching at the start, it was a big step, but towards the end you realised that they were just super happy to learn anything, and anything that you did teach them was really helpful. Even so much just as talking to them in English. The experience really was worthwhile, and you could tell the development of the kids throughout your 6 months there. When teaching the junior kids, you could see over the short amount of time that their English just came along, their reading, writing, and it was really a good feeling to see at the end them spelling words that they usually wouldn't have, seeing them put sentences together. Just great development, great to see, and good to know that you actually were making a bit of a difference.
Bislama, the national language of Vanuatu, is really similar to English, so it was a great tool for them. They had a lot of the vocab already, but you could see their progression really distinctly in terms of sentence structure and grammar, and that's a great feeling as a teacher to see that progression, and that's both grade 3s and grade 8s, and particularly our older students they had exams at the end of the year, which are a nationally set curriculum, and we had no idea what was on the exams. We had no books. We didn't really know what was going to be on them. And we found out at the end of the year that they all passed their exams, and that was just the most amazing feeling, which might not have been possible without Lattitude volunteers.